What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
Let's hope things will settle down a bit around here.
係咪太眼瞓？
You mean after the Talmberg attack on the brigands' secret camp? I wouldn't expect too much of it.
No? Why is that?
There was only a handful of bandits there.
A handful? There was dozens of them. And foreign heathens too.
Is that right?
There was a great big battle. Them fuckers filled the whole of Pribyslavitz. The Tamberg garrison had to get reinforcements to beat them. There's wounded lying at Tamberg now, and plenty new graves in Uzhitz. But they cleared that wasp nest good and proper.
Well, if you say so, but I still reckon we haven't seen the last of it. That Sigismund is still on the rampage, attacking the nobles one by one across the land, and brigands are like weeds. Burn them down and they just sprout up somewhere else. That's not the half of it. What about the attack on Merhoya?
中世紀啲治安咁差
While the
嘅，
lords are dealing with one lot of marauders in Pribyslavitz, there's another bunch pillaging somewhere else. There'll be no peace as long as Sigismund goes on ransacking Bohemia, sure as the sun circles the earth.
You know how to lift a fellow's spirits.
我檢查下個 stream 有冇問題先。因為頭先個網絡真係好鬼差，好似好翻啲咯。
What is it, brother?
每個人都可以問下
Talk to
佢
me, brother.
佢揀邊個人，不過尋日有做啦，而家算。
Talk to me, brother.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. About you in the election. Will you tell me more about it?
Ask me anything you want.
Tell me something about Nevlas.
Nevertheless is weak and toothless. He's full of hot hair. How anyone could think he'd make a good abbot is beyond me. Enough. I don't even want to hear his name.
I'd like to know what's going on here.
Well, the young brothers feel they don't have the same rights and responsibilities as we, who have spent much of our lives here. And what of it? Privilege needs to be earned. Nevertheless is lying when he says he wants to right wrongs. All he cares about are benefits for himself and his cronies.
I'd like to help you if I can.
There is something you could do. I'm convinced Nevlas must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out. If he was preaching water and drinking wine, for example.
So I should dig something up on him and tell you about it?
Exactly. But I doubt you'll have any luck. Nevlas is too cunning and careful to give anything away.
Once I find something out, I'll tell you. Thank you for answering.
Librarian 喺邊呢？係 Lucas，好似見過你。第四個人喺邊啊？
You might be wrong. And the fuck, Gordon.
有冇同過 Lucas 講嘢？有啊，應該。Who is the librarian？ 上面嗰個人又唔係喎，咁邊個先係？
Praise be to Christ, brother.
邊個係 librarian 啊？呢個唔係啊嘛，應該有名㗎。你喺度左走右走做乜鬼？乜都唔做。咁企喺張凳度啦，呢條友。係你啊！
Praise be to Christ, brother.
Is it possible to learn something about the other novices in the library?
Only the abbot and the prior keep such records.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chambers and not them.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book. Do you know what it is?
It appears to be a page torn out of Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few
Ovid.
volumes
I got
in
Ovid.
the library, but one of them vanished one day.
好偉德。
Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the pages. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Good. I'll look around for it.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages, I'll be most grateful.
10 pages。
Can you tell me something about the book?
Eustace so much about it, but as I was saying, he considered the book to be immoral and tore it up to stop it corrupting any of his brothers.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere, from the garden to the refectory.
I found a few pages of the torn-up book, but I still don't have them all.
Wonderful. Keep looking then. I'm sure you can find the rest.
啲秘密行動好鬼嘢
Talk to me.
好鬼多嘢，唔知講唔講好。
I've heard there are some forbidden books locked up in the library.
That's correct. They're here, safely hidden away from anyone who might be tempted to read them.
What if I just wanted to take a peek? Could I?
You could not. They are libri prohibiti, and the only people permitted access to them are the abbot and I. Although I see no reason why he or I would ever want to read them.
Not even if I were to beg? Or promise a favour in return?
If you could prove to me that you truly like books, then maybe.
Could a book be prohibited by mistake? Maybe a good book or a useful one?
No errors are made. Every book on the prohibited list is there for a reason. Who am I to doubt the wisdom of Mother Church?
How does a book get on the forbidden list?
Forbidden works are full of heresy and blasphemy and witchcraft. If you ask me, we should burn them immediately, not archive them.
I don't need to hear anything else.
Do about that? Of course you can't.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man.
Is there any way I could help you get elected? Somehow tip the scales in your favour?
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and shout, "Vote for Nevlis, vote for Nevlis"?
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. We're all brothers in Christ. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery. I'd be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
That doesn't sound like something I can do.
Pity. And I thought you wanted to help. There was dozens of them, and foreign heathens too.
揾過好多地方㗎啦。之前解嗰啲鎖係解晒。最緊要有 lockpick 咯，而家。咁一定要固定金額啊，捐錢嗰部分。
That's a good boy.
That's my boy.
唔知咩你入到嚟。
Come along, free.
Hey. 呢度係門嚟嘅。 好棘喎呢個位，有部電腦嘅問題定係？有部電腦嘅問題定係？呢個地圖嘅問題。
This looks like the dregs after a night's drinking. Who could be coming here?
我就喺度。有食仔玩添。
Salve. Be well.
Hey, you know it.
My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although it's not important. Welcome to Purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
乜鬼嘢？我點知邊個係啊？
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive?
They must have realized you robbed them.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my brothers, my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder?
Indeed so.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it to yourself. Especially the part about the coin.
Will you tell me something?
Look, nothing against you, but
Very well. I won't ask.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. Tell me about Antonius.
Well, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius. He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
I'm interested in Yodok.
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip. I'd bet my life that if he wasn't here, he'd be a cumin scout, bowing and scraping for a few groschen.
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got his eye on everyone, and he'll rat on you for even the slightest of infractions.
What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him. I've tried so many times to talk to him, but he always backs away like a virgin on a wedding night.
That's all. Thanks. Who would you elect, Abbot, if you could?
Most likely Nevlas. He's a fine fellow and he seems honest. But, truth be told, it doesn't matter much to me. A monastery will still be a monastery, no matter who's in charge. If you really want to talk more about it, ask Antonius. He seems to have taken an interest.
Think it's unsafe.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
Actually, I don't care. God save. How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayers?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too awake at that time of the morning.
PS 嚟嘅，PS 係啲
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
平民。
There's something I should tell you. Something you won't be happy to hear. I'm here to find someone and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder. Not when it's a man like him. He's one of the brigands who burned down Neuhof. He doesn't deserve to live.
What's he doing here? And who are you?
They call him Pius because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, he hid away here. And as you can see, escaped suspicion. They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. He's one of the novices.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected. Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just it. No, but I hope I'll track him down soon. If you find any clue that could lead me to him...
I swear I don't know anything. Except that I'm not the one you're looking for.
I won't tell you more, and I'd like you to keep silent about this too.
You're talking about killing in the monastery. I really should report it.
Would you do that? I have a feeling you wouldn't.
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours. And besides, I mean to be gone from here within a year, so why should I care what happens with the monastery?
Thank you, Siskin. I appreciate it.
彈咗個人名出嚟做乜？
It's not the first time.
It's a mystery, but one that'll be soon solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then it soon gets lost.
People have no respect for writing these days.
Librarian 平時企喺邊？就係天黑。我應該趁佢單獨行動嗰陣偷佢身上。
Someone's been creeping around the corridor at night. What am I saying, creeping? He was stomping about like a bear.
That must have been Brother Sir Kate. He can't sleep and prays long into the night.
我少少覺得，如果個井可以用嘅話，係會留咗一個 page 出嚟咯。但俾人喺度，可能偷佢啲嘢喎。好眼瞓。
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
冇可能喺正面偷佢嘢嘅。頭先喪失咗個機會嘅，佢單獨企喺度嗰陣。
Talk to me, brother.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. What can you tell me about Siskin?
that there's no man alive less suitable for the monastic life than him.
You don't know young Lord Capon.
I've heard things. Siskin must have been like him, fighting, drinking, fornicating, but then he ended up in here.
Why is he in the monastery?
No one knows. Maybe he's hiding from something, or maybe he's being punished.
Do you think he has a secret?
Don't we all? But unlike the others, he absolutely refuses to speak about his life before the monastery.
That's all I wanted to know about him. Thanks. What about your...
Be on good terms with him. If you show he's a slimy little pedant who'll rat you out to the superiors.
I'm interested in Lucas.
No one knows much about him. He doesn't talk to anyone. He works, eats, sleeps, then does it all again the next day. It's as if he wanted to get it all over with as soon as possible. By it, I mean his entire life.
That's all. Thanks.
Cứ 及住嗰條友幾時走開？
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Yet again? I've had enough of it.
Come on.
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Not a lot. I don't know him. Actually, I don't know much about him at all. Except that he's not a stickler for rules.
Are you joking? Don't you know anyone at all here?
Why should I?
I'd have thought you might want to know who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. I definitely do. In fact, I probably already know more about them than you do.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
What would you like?
I'm interested in the other novices. Do you know anything?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the...
I'm interested in Lucas.
Nobody knows much about Lucas. He keeps himself to himself. If you ask me, he's got something to hide. I'd keep well clear of him if I was you.
Do you have any grounds for suspecting him of something?
Quite a lot. And also none at all. The circuitous who make the rounds despise him, and they'd never punish anyone without cause.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more time dreaming of the world outside than tending to his duties. I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he'd be out on his ear right away.
Sounds like you don't have much time for him.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Believe me, Gregor, he's hiding something from us. In fact, now I come to think of it, I haven't seen him at morning prayers for a while.
What can you...
I'm surprised.
The food's definitely gone downhill. I remember back when we ate like kings.
And the wine. Those were the days.
Hey, 走啦，走。 真係乜都冇嗰啲人。呢個係邊個嚟嘅？好似已經冇嘢咯，好似已經冇人啦呢個地方，可能係瞓着咗啲人。應該有名㗎，係你啊！
Get off.
我張床喺邊？